Welcome back to Venlearn tutorial series. In this tutorial, we are going to continue from where we stopped. We're going to talk about students, staff, and guardians management. So to do that, we first click on the students submodule. Now you can see that we currently have no students for all classes. And so one way to add students is to click on the enroll. So if we're going to enroll students in this manner, we have to fill in the forms one after the other. So we have first name, last name, other names, date of birth, gender, the student's profile photo, the address, the class placement, the origin, the student contact, as well as their guardian information. So this process can be cumbersome if you are going to add hundreds of students, but there's a better way to do that. So we also have a way to import students from Excel sheets. So it's assumed that for most schools we work with, they have a student sheet that is available on Excel. So to do that, you click on bulk imports. Now, you may decide to choose the school group. We're working with high school, and say we want to import for GSS1, right? So there are settings you can import for an arm. So you can, if your student's record has the arm specified in it, you can just leave it as default. If you are importing students for the first time and you want them to be distributed across arms, you can choose auto distribute across arms. So the system automatically detects all the students and share them equally into the available arms. If you want it to be for only diamond, you can choose that, or gold. So for our sake, we are going to do auto distribute across arms, right? So we press next. Now is the time for us to upload the CSV file. Before you can do that, you can as well download a template. So the template shows you the format with which you can structure your Excel file in order for you to import the student's record without error. So you can click on this download, and then you can still specify. There are compulsory fields like first name, last name, date of birth, and gender. So student's code, admission number, middle name, residential area, all these are going to be available in the template. But if for your use case, for some reasons, you don't have local government area or phone contact, you can uncheck this and they will not be part of the template. So it's also very flexible to create a template that suits your school. So if we're good, we can click download, and then it downloads the context for us, and we can choose a location where we would want it to be. We can save it on the desktop, and then we can see the student's template. We can view it to see how it looks. Okay, so it seems we don't have a software that can open it on this laptop. So the next thing we are going to do is to upload. So we are going to choose the file we want to upload. So we check, I think, let's go to, say, recent. Oh, man. So we can choose the JS1 file. So we leave at default. So we can now see all the students here, and all looks good. So we press import. So it imports for us the 50 students. So we have been able to import the students. So it's more like a 4-step process. We select the class, we upload the file, we preview and validate, as well as we get to the final part, which is the results. So we can view the students now. We can see that automatically has imported 50 students for us and assigned them to different arms equally. So the system is smart enough to assign both by gender and make sure that they are matching. So there will not be any skew in the distribution. So that's it for importing students. So after importing of students, there are further things you can do. You can further click on a student, and there are some settings you can do for that student. So currently you can see the student's profile. You can see the primary guardian and the academic performance and the fees data. But currently we don't have information for guardian, academic performance, and fees. So they are still empty. We'll get to that in another tutorials. But there are some things you can do for these students, like you can change their status. So if a student is suspended, withdrawn, graduated, or transferred, you can choose any of those status. Then we also have the contact information. So you can add contacts for the students. It can be phone numbers, it can be emails, whatever the case may be, can be added. So you can also add guardian information. So a student can have a guardian, one or more guardian. So you can add their details, which is also very important, simply by clicking this and filling the information on the guardian. But we're going to skip that because of time. Another information you can add relating to students is the medicals. So it's very important as a school, you have the complete medical record of your students. This can be very useful in cases of emergency and drug administration. So some certain students or certain blood types may not be so compatible with certain drugs. So if you don't have the information on the students, your sick bay may give them the wrong drugs that may worsen their situation. So you can also record student information like their blood group, their genotype and rhesus factors, their known allergies, right? Their disabilities, and then other extra notes. And then you can also assign an emergency contact. So you should know who to contact when the students fall ill. So you can also fill those information here. They also have their hobbies, which can also be provided. This can also serve as a very useful information for them to choose their career path. And we can see that also students are assigned to subject English language. This is because English is a compulsory subject and they are assigned based on their class. So automatically the system assigns them to this subject. You can also assign custom subjects to specific students from here as well. Then we also have their results. Usually students' result and performance should show here, but we don't have any data for that, so it wouldn't show. Likewise, their ratings and their fees. So there's also another tutorial for school fees where we can show you how to create school fees and assign the fees to specific students. So we now go back to staff. So we've been able to add students. Another thing I didn't mention is each of these students have a student photo. So one would click on a student, edit the student, and upload a photo for the students one after the other. But there's a better way to do it. So you can also upload photos in bulk. So you can upload photos in bulk. So how to do that is you are going to choose you are going to ensure that all the student photos you have on your device are named either by their registration number or their full name. Say, for instance, their full name is John Paul Emeka. So you should name the image John_Paul_Emeka.jpg, and then each of those students will be named according to that format. Or as well, you can use their registration number. Instead of using their full name, you can say the name of the image would be their reg number.jpg. So when you are about to upload that, you can look for a file that contains all the images and then do the imports. So we're going to leave that for now. So the next thing we'll go for is staff. In a similar way, you can add staffs one after the other. You can upload a staff photo, choose a staff code, put their title, their full name, their last name, other names, as well as their date of birth and gender, and other information relevant to them. We are going to import staff in bulk instead. So we're going to do bulk imports. We can also download staff template as well, just like we did for students template. So we choose a staff CSV file. Ensure you look at the templates and know how to format it for your school. Earlier, I didn't talk about this. So the system automatically reads the file and sees various fields. So there are some fields that are needed: first name, last name, gender, and staff type. So automatically, the CSV file contains these fields, and the system automatically maps first name to first name, last name to last name, gender to gender, staff type to staff type. So it discovered that the CSV doesn't have staff code, so it didn't map it. So in our own case, we are creating a new set of staff and want the system to automatically map the code for us. So there's no staff code in the CSV file. That is why all the fields are showing no staff code. So the system automatically handles that. Middle name, designation, others are mapped. So whenever anything is mapped wrongly, you can change the mapping here yourself. For example, if residential address is wrongly mapped, you can change it. If it's permanent address or whatever, you can do that. So that's the essence of this field. So it's more or less like a check, but the system tries its best to detect the specific field. So we are good to go. We can now choose validate and preview, and we can preview the result and make sure everything is okay and what we get is what we expect. So at the end of the day, we can import the staff. So we are done with importing. So apparently there are 46 staff here. So we can view the staff or we can import another batch. Let's view the staff. So in a similar way, you can see all the staff records and automatically all the staff are active. So clicking on a staff, you can further set the staff profile. For example, if the staff is on leave, is suspended or terminated. So this is very important because when we start talking about attendance for staff and students, if a staff who is on leave is marked active, they will be wrongly marked that they were absent for that day. So it is very important that the school administrator record staff that are on leave or that are terminated or whatever. So if they're on leave, you can simply change the states and put the reason why they are on leave. So this is also important for other aspects of the app. So we will not be able to assign staff to classes when they are on leave. So it's very, very important. In a similar way, we can assign teaching subjects. So students can be assigned subjects, staff as well can be assigned subjects. So this is very important in filtering as we continue to use the app. So we can also assign contact information. So every staff, we need to know their contact address and any other thing relating to them. We can also assign subjects to them, their qualifications, more or less like the degrees they have. So this is also very useful for us. Their next of kin details, their work experience, their referees, the documents, their CVs, their cover letter, their application letter, whatever they use to apply. For record purpose, we can archive them with Venlearn. So we can also assign their skills and hobby. Their medical reports too is also very important, as well as their account. So the account here is actually a user account, right? So a user account is an account that can log into Venlearn. So by default, staff and students that are imported or added to Venlearn software cannot log into Venlearn except the admin explicitly creates login details for them. So to do that, all we need to do for Abuba Fatima is to go to Accounts tab and click Create an Account. So automatically the system creates a username for them and a password. So you can copy these details and send to them. So what it means now is they can now log in into the platform. So not only can they log in, the admin can also set permissions for them. So they can decide what they would see or what they would have access to as a staff. In a similar way, you can do that for students as well. You can create accounts for students, and then you can also do that for guardians. So we'll also do one more thing, create guardians. Okay, so a guardian is anybody who is in charge of a student. It could be their parents, it could be their grandparents, it could be their uncles or aunties. Whoever is in charge or sponsoring the student is a guardian. So to create a guardian, we can either do it in two ways. We can go to the students, click on the specific students, and scroll down to the guardian section where we see the list of guardians. There are no guardians assigned. We can do that here. So we can add a guardian for this student. Automatically, it detects that the guardian is being added for this student. Or we can go to the guardian dashboard and press Add Guardian. So at this point, we can create an arbitrary guardian. Let's say it's a doctor and his name is Dr. Ken. His last name is Peter. So he's a male, he's an occupation medical doctor. So we can assign an address to them. We can also assign a religion as well as marital status. It's Lagos, Nigeria. We can also pick the local governments. So we can also assign contact information. So this is their primary contact and it's a mobile contact. So we can say +23480123456. So we can add another contact. So it can be their email address. So it's always important we have alternative contacts in case one is not reachable. So we can pick others and then we can enter their email as kenpeter@gmail.com. So also, not only is the contact for emergency case, it can also be serve as a way to send information to them via email or via phone number, right? So Also, we can also choose one primary contact. So if their primary contact is this, we can add multiple number, and their primary one is this, we choose it. So that's the first point of call. And here we can link a student. So every guardian should be assigned to a student. A student can have one or more guardian, right? So we can search the students by name, and the system automatically searches Adeyemi Oluwaseun. So let's say this is, so we can also assign other guardians to, let's see. So let's say these two children are assigned to this guardian, and we can create a relationship. This is the father as well as this is the father. So whatever it is, we can assign them and we can create the guardian, and automatically our guardian has been created. So we have added one guardian. So at least if we go back, we'll see the guardian here. So as an admin, you can add multiple guardians, and you can also manage the guardians or edit their information. So the last part of the people module is the accounts. So currently, the admin have one account. I recall that we created an account for a staff, Fatima Abubakar. So this is also the place you can see all the accounts that have been assigned. If you want to assign accounts to more staff, you can go to the staff, choose the particular staff, go to accounts, and then create accounts for them. And that's how it's done. So you send their login information to them, and then they'll be able to log in as a staff and access the portal as well. So at this point, we have not added any guardian to the account. So we can also add students. So that's it. So in the next tutorial, we are going to try to compute results. Thank you.